going to critique Generation 2434 and Chooch, TOLN times today on a video they recently made because it's getting down to the wire here close to May 14th, 2021. And I'm just going to critique this. These are two up-and-coming young watch people now that Barry Scarborough has graciously stepped aside to take a well-deserved rest from his folly. These two guys are probably going to see a surge in popularity because their numbers are dwindling. So I say that, and I'm just saying that out of I really wish they were dwindling, but they're just going up and down like they normally do. There will always be a market for these people because there will always be a group of people who want to be told these lies. So let's just go ahead and look at their live stream. It's a high watch season, and this is because of their theory about the fig tree, and it's coming due here. And they're starting to get nervous, and they're starting to line up their response to what do we do when we're still here on Sunday or whatever day it is that is after the May 14th deadline. So here we go.
And thank God for that, guys, because I'm so thankful that there is nothing we can do to earn our salvation, and there is no part of it that's on our shoulders because we'd never get there. We would never, ever make it.
I started with that because they claim that the gospel is the most important thing. It's the only reason we're really here, and I would agree with that. But then if the gospel really is the most important thing, and we are at the end, as you guys claim we are, whether you're correct about the date or the time frame right now or blah, 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 we are at the end. We are the last generation. It doesn't matter what happens on May 14th, right? That's what they say. So if that's the most important thing, why are you wasting an hour and 54 minutes speculating about when it's going to happen? Just get busy with the gospel. You could have spent an hour and 52 minutes, because he did spend the 2 minutes sharing the gospel, and I agree, and amen, that's great. What about the other hour and 52 that you completely wasted sitting around speculating about all this stuff that's never going to happen? By the way, I also think it's funny that these two gentlemen actually believe that during the 7 years of hell on earth that they're sure is coming any second, it's not just Jesus' work. It's also the work of people in the tribulation. You have to believe in Jesus, and also you have to do good works. So according to Tyler, suddenly everyone's going to have the ability to do things on their own. He just said only I wouldn't be saved if I had anything to do with it. And he's right. But he believes there's millions of people coming in the tribulation that will have the ability to be saved. You guys see how many problems this view has all over it? I really hope you do. So again, the fig tree generation theory goes like this. Basically, it says the following. Let me get this up here. Basically, it says that Jesus, when he was telling people that, when you see the fig tree and all the trees, Luke 21:29, when you see those things blooming when you see the trees blooming, you know that summer is near. Then he says, likewise, when you see all these signs coming, you know the kingdom is near. And these people, I just can't understand why they can't see their error. He didn't say that the blooming trees was a sign of his coming. He didn't say blooming trees are a sign of the kingdom. He said they're a sign of summer. And just like there's signs of summer, so also likewise, he said the word likewise. There will be signs of the kingdom coming. I'm just flabbergasted that nobody will believe this. And it's like time is going to pass and we're going to see that they're wrong. And they still insist they're right as I show it to them. So in order to believe this nonsense that we're going to find out is wrong, you have to say, okay, the fig tree is the nation of Israel. Bible never says that anywhere. It says in one place it talks about the fathers of Israel in Hosea. This is the only one they could find. He compares them to figs, good and bad figs. He never says now the entire nation obviously is the tree. Never says that. But the fig tree equals Israel, fine, whatever. You then have to say that blooming it means becoming a nation again, which I don't know where you get that in the Bible. There's nothing in the Bible that talks about blooming trees being symbolic of nations being reborn. And anyway, he said all the trees in Luke 21. Were all the nations in the entire world reborn again in 1948? Do you see the problem? But that it doesn't end there. You have to say that summer is the coming of Christ, because that's a metaphor as well. If fig tree is a metaphor, blooming is a metaphor, then summer has to be a metaphor for the second coming. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. And then you then have to make the leap that this generation is the ones who see the fig tree bloom. Never said that. He never said anything remotely close to that. So here we go. With that as a backdrop, they're going to spend some time talking or thinking out loud with each other and kind of going back and forth on their ideas.
The Lord could, like I said, we could misinterpret things and still be the fig tree generation. I agree that the generation is 100 years.
Right.
We have to swallow that, and that the Lord is he's divine. So, and
yeah, see, so they're not going to give up on this idea. It's just I just explained it to you too. If you guys are watching this video, go look and see it. If what I said is true? It's clearly true. Just like when he's chiding the Pharisees, another favorite passage of yours, and he says, hey, you guys know how to tell when the weather is going to be good or bad, but you can't see the signs of the times that we're in. Was he saying that the weather had anything to do with the signs that they were in? No, he was making a comparison. You can tell what the weather's going to do, but you can't tell that I'm the Son of God, is basically what he was trying to say. You guys never mixed that up, but you got this all mixed up to 7 Ways to Sunday. So what I'm chuckling about is the fact that here these guys are stuck now, okay? They're stuck because here's what they have to do. They have to reinvent how long a generation is, and they don't have any other markers. All these people think about is zeros. They think zeros mean something to God. So like, well, it can't be like 82 years as a generation. Can't be 87 and a half years. It has to be exactly something. So I guess 100 is the next logical step, of which they've never given a single Bible verse. But what I think is hilarious is that's too far away now. So did you see Tyler's reaction? He's just rolling his eyes. Oh God, no. Tyler, get used to it. You're here for your life, period. You're not going anywhere. Just get used to it. My point is, it's funny because you can't, if they came out in a year or two and said, okay, generation's now 100 years, it's going to make everybody mad because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, we have another 20 or so years, possibly, and they're going to shut them off.
I can't picture if Psalm 90 verse 10 is what we need, and which I feel is the best explanation of a generation. We can't get into fall of 2022.
Exactly.
It just doesn't fit that way.
Exactly. And that's exactly why I see 2021 as being my best guess. And I just want to make it so clear, we are not making predictions or setting dates here.
What are you doing?
Out loud. That's all we can do is watch.
No. What are you doing then? Because yes, you are. You just said it's a high watch season. What are you? We're not predicting dates or times or anything like that. Yes, you are, guys. There's only one reason you're doing this video, and that's to tell everybody what you think. Are you writing it in stone on your are you carving it into your forehead? No, I agree. You guys are a little soft on it, but don't tell us you're not putting dates and time frames together. That's the entire point of the fig tree thing. I get so sick of the deceit, and they're so nice about it. Oh, they're so nice. I've had a lot of people be really nice to me and tell me absolute nasty stuff.
As servants of the Most High, Jesus Christ, we can watch and be about his business, the kingdom's business, spreading the gospel as we watch and wait. That's all we can do. So we're not setting a date.
Okay, listen to me. Watching and even anticipating something is going to happen is not the same as predicting when it will happen. Anticipating something is not the same as speculating when it will happen. And you shouldn't be doing that in public in front of thousands of people who are looking for truth, whether they're non-Christians or not. Do you guys understand? When you get on here and you speculate, even if you soften it with, well, I could be wrong, you're still using the authority of God's word behind you. You're trying to, and you're putting his name all over everything you're doing. Jesus never said, speculate about when I'm coming. Jesus never said, tell others what you think. He certainly never said, part of the gospel message you should preach is telling everybody that I'm coming soon, even if you don't know for sure.
But we're thinking out loud here. We're talking. We're encouraging one another as
No,
we
no,
see that
no,
day
you-
approaching.
Wait,
And
wait a minute, no. See, that's another thing, that see the day approaching thing. I mean, if you see the day approaching, then you know when it's coming. Otherwise, you don't see it. Is that clear to anybody else? If I go out in my front yard with a bunch of people and I say, I see a storm approaching, and we go out in the front yard and look, and it's a clear blue sky and there's no sign anywhere of a storm, and everybody's like, what are you talking about, man? And they mock and they scoff at me. And I say, well, I see a storm approaching. They're like, okay, well, you must have supervision because I don't. We'll wait and see if you're right. And then the day comes and goes, and the day is over and no storm. What are they going to say about me? Yeah, you clearly didn't see it approaching. These guys don't ever do that. They're always seeing it approaching. Do you notice that? So guys, how can that be true? The Bible doesn't contradict itself. It can't possibly say in one spot that you see it approaching and you know it. And then in the other spot say, but you don't know when it's going to happen because nobody knows. You can't have those two things. And if you did see it approaching, then you guys would be right about your predictions, and you're always wrong. So either you don't see it approaching, or your predictions are lies, or something's broken. Do you get it? What value? Here's the big point. What value are you bringing to the body here, wasting an hour and 52 minutes of time? What have you done for that hour and 52 minutes?
That's why exactly what you were talking about, the fall, it seems like we wouldn't have another fall season. It would be going too far if we went to fall of 2022. That's why I look at 2021 as being what I would consider the best fit.
See, you can't do that. So you don't see it approaching. If you saw it approaching, we would all know. We would all agree. There would be zero question in anybody's mind. We would see it approaching, and then it would come, and that would be it. But we don't all agree. Even remotely, we don't all agree. So you're not correct. I'm just telling you right now. I can guarantee you aren't correct. If you were, there would be a billion other Christians or whatever that would be right here on video. You wouldn't have to tell anybody because it would just be there. So it just stuns me how there's no logic to any of this. It's just hype. It's just feelings. Do you see how it's just giving a baby candy and saying, look, they're smiling. I must be encouraging them. No, you're not. You're just telling people what they want to hear.
For the year of the rapture to occur and the tribulation to start. And so I just wanted everyone to understand it makes perfect sense scripturally that the rapture could occur after May 14th.
Yeah, so he's getting us all ready for it to happen that way, because he knows now probably it's not going to happen. But he sees the day approaching, but I don't know when it's going to be. Makes no sense. So, I often get accused of being a Debbie Downer because I say stuff like this. It's like, well, what do you want? I mean, I'm sorry, but, would you rather just be told what you want to hear all the time and then continually be disappointed? Or would you rather somebody step up and say, hey, listen, the emperor has no clothes. Let's stop listening to this garbage. Yeah, here's the final piece that I'm going to play, just to make a point again about word choices and how people think and how logically none of this makes sense.
Is
Absolutely. In fact, I literally call it looking for daddy.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. And because I'm a dad, I've got 3 precious children, and it's helped me understand a father's heart.
Okay,
And there's no way that if I were gone, on a trip or something, and then on my way home, that I would get angry at one of my children for thinking, they heard a car horn or a car noise and running to the window and looking outside and saying, "Dad's here." That would warm my heart,
that's
and
what
it
you.
would bring me joy. I mean, can you imagine a father that would just get angry at his child for looking for daddy?
I mean, this is just outrageous when you really think about it. He's trying to compare what they're doing or what other people like Scarborough do with a child who's just excited about daddy coming home and has just constantly got his nose pressed against the glass or, runs out every time he hears a horn. And there's so many things I could say. First of all, hearing a car pull up into a driveway and a horn sounding is a sign that somebody's home because it's a sign we're all familiar with and we've seen it actually happen many times in the past. So that's a pretty good sign that somebody's home. And all of your signs that you guys have concocted over the years have resulted in nothing. Nothing. So we've never had a moon that's orange in color herald a rapture. It's never happened. We've never had a giant earthquake or major wars herald a rapture. It's never happened. So stop comparing these two things. They make no sense. Secondly, I think the dad would be kind of mad if he told the kid, "I'm going to be back soon. Watch for me, but you're not going to know when. Just watch for me," and left. And then the kid proceeded to run around the neighborhood telling all of his friends, "My dad's coming home by next Tuesday. He said soon, and I think soon is next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And he's going to be home, and you're gonna really be sorry when he comes home because he's going to come and beat your butts because you've been bullying me." And then Tuesday comes around, and then Wednesday, and dad's still not home, and "Oh, he's coming back soon. I'm telling you, he's going to come and beat your butts, man." Yes, he sure as heck would be mad at you because that's what you're doing. You're getting on YouTube in front of all these unbelievers and telling them, "You better get saved because my dad's coming and he's going to beat your butt if you don't get saved." And then he doesn't come. I think dad, the father, is not happy with that. That is not the same thing as what you just described. So it's just more dishonesty. I'll have more to comment on later.